Today I'm heading to New York City to take some photographs with my new 28mm lens. And while I'm there, I thought I would go ahead and look at a few watches. The main stop will be AP House, and then the secondary stops will be at Tudor to look at the new Black Bay 58 GMT, and then Omega to take a look at the new White Speedmaster. I usually park my vehicle at the Metro Park in New Jersey and take the train into the city, which is about another 20 minutes. Today I'm wearing the Patek Philippe at 5212A weekly calendar. This is such a fun watch to wear and looks great, and it can also go with a casual outfit. This will be safe to wear in the city since nobody on the street will recognize it, and I will not be going to any of the Patek Philippe boutiques. The train pulls in at Penn Station, which is a great location for walking around in Manhattan and taking photographs. And it's always exciting when first stepping out onto the streets of New York City. All five of your senses are blasted all at once, and it was exciting the whole day to walk the streets of New York City. It's loud and constantly noisy everywhere, except some parts of the city are quieter than others. I'll start walking to AP House, but I still have plenty of time until my appointment. I'm walking towards Chelsea, I think, and it's already starting to get a little bit quieter. I passed a Starbucks Reserve Roastery, so I'll go in here and take a look. I'm in the meatpacking district where AP is located, and there's a lot of high-end stores around this area. And while I was walking, I passed a Tudor store, and I went in and asked about the Black Bay 58 GMT, and they did not have any for display and said they are not expecting to come in until July. But they were also attached to a Rolex store, which I didn't even know was located here. The outside just says Rolex, so I had to ask them what the name of the store was, and she said it was Tourneau Bucherer. So since Rolex acquired Bucherer, maybe that's the reason I couldn't find their name on the outside, and maybe this qualifies as a Rolex boutique. The store is very nice inside, and the people are welcoming and friendly. They offered me a water right away, but I only asked to try on one watch. I like the green color on this GMT, but I'm still not 100% sure about this watch. I didn't bother to ask for this watch, but they do have a very large selection of exhibition-only watches, so you can try on almost any of the common models. I still had some more time until my AP appointment, so I walked part of the Highline, which is close to this area, and it has a lot of nice gardens and views of the water. AP House is pretty well hidden in the meatpacking district, and you can easily miss it if you don't know where it is. Here you can see the name Audemars Piguet on the top of the building, but on the street level it's basically unmarked. It's by appointment only, and the entrance is right next to a restaurant, and it's basically just a plain black, tall, narrow door that they open for you as you approach. I was assigned a different sales associate this time, and he was also very nice and friendly. I did not get the full tour of the museum portion, I think because this is my second visit and I had already seen it. He confirmed that the other associate had put my name on the registry for the 37mm Royal Oak, but they still didn't have that exact model for display. I think in total they only had less than 20 watches for display. Inside is very nicely decorated. A large table, multiple seating areas, a coffee bar, piano, and an outdoor patio for events. The one I requested looks very similar to this, except without the diamonds, and it fits perfectly on my wrist, and I love that blue dial. The bracelet weighs about the same as a Jubilee bracelet. It has a butterfly clasp, and it's very shiny, so you can tell that this is a Royal Oak from a mile away. My first visit was 9 months ago when I put this on the wish list, but I'm no closer to getting this watch than I was then. He basically said in an indirect way that there's no chance of getting a Royal Oak or a Royal Oak chronograph without being an established customer and buying other products. He didn't say this outright, but that was the basic implication, and he offered me an AP code that was available that day. This Music Royal Oak actually looks like a fun watch in person, and it fits perfectly. And I would actually buy this, but it's actually limited production to 500 pieces, so it's not available for sale. I might just give up on AP since I don't want to buy anything except the 37mm Royal Oak with the blue dial or the 38mm Royal Oak chronograph with the blue dial. Then I walked over to the hotel, checked in, and reloaded my camera. It's a nice, clean hotel room to stay over for one night, but all the rooms in New York City are very small. I headed towards Midtown, and my plan was to look for a Vacheron Overseas just to try on, but I couldn't find the store and I got lost, and it was getting late and close to closing time. I did find another Tudor AD, and same thing here. There was no availability of the Black Bay 58 GMT, and he said the same exact thing that they're not expecting this until July. And since this is the exact same thing that Tourneau Bucherer said in the meatpacking district, I'm wondering if Tudor is telling them to say this to the customers. And then finally, I stepped into an Omega authorized dealer and asked to try on the white Speedmaster Professional. And this is a great looking watch. It looks just as good as the pictures, and I would recommend anyone to buy this watch. But since I already have a black dial, a Speedmaster, I don't think I'm going to get this one. Plus, the white dial might have the appearance of looking larger on the wrist, so that might be too large for my wrist. There were no pieces available for sale. This was just a display model, but he said if you put your name down on the list, you're pretty much guaranteed to have the watch, and this will be in good supply later in the year. This person that I talked to was the most friendly and down-to-earth salesperson that I spoke to all day, and he was just fun to talk to. I talked to him about my own Black Dial Speedmaster and my Terracotta Aquaterra 38 millimeters, and I showed him my Patek Philippe weekly calendar. And that's been my experience with all the Omega authorized dealers. They're extremely accommodating and friendly and welcoming. He said his favorite two watches were the summer blue dials with the Planet Ocean and the Aquaterra. And I was surprised that the Planet Ocean is 40 millimeters. I was expecting it to be much larger, but it's actually a pretty compact watch, and I could probably wear that watch. So these were the only watch stores that I visited. Again, this wasn't the main reason that I came. I mainly came to take some street photographs, but I was able to see the Royal Oak again, try on the white Speedmaster Professional, but I did not end up finding a Black Bay 58 GMT. But if anyone lives in New York City, let me know in the comments your experiences with the authorized dealers. And I'll be back this summer, so if anyone wants to meet up to talk watches or cameras, just send me a message also. And before I go home, I'm heading over to Bryant Park, and I need to try out a New York City bagel and have it for breakfast sitting outside in the park.